Greetings, YouTube. What's up? I'm Brett. Also go by Arbretter on Xbox. I'm a avid fan of Halo. Been playing this game since it came out. Been playing Halo for a majority of my life. And I just want to get on here and talk a little bit about the game. Why I think it's still struggling to improve, and want to share my opinion on that. I want to start by sharing my profile, just giving a little proof of experience. I'm approaching 10,000 games played in this game over the last 3.5 years it's been out. Um, I've also been grinding in the ranked arena, trying to test my limits. And I set a goal that if I'd get over 1900 Onyx, I'd make this YouTube video just sharing my opinion on the game. And I'd also be going live on Twitch and I don't know, helping casuals get better, sharing my tips and tricks, what I've known about the game, because I do think I'm not half bad. And I do think I'm good enough to know what I'm talking about more than I don't. I think there's a lot of people that just slander the game without really giving it the light of day or chance. I don't think that's fair. The game has made a lot of strides in the past 3.5 years since it came out. When it first launched, it was very much incomplete. Um, but a lot of things have changed since then. Um, I want to start by saying that this is the most anti-beginner friendly game I've ever played. For starters, uh, the campaign is the only part of the game that you get if you decide to buy the full game. Most people don't buy the full game, they're playing the free version. And most players do not have that campaign completion on their profile, I've noticed. Not that it really matters. I mean, you could be a great player and not have campaign completion. For example, Legend is one of the best players in the world. Guy does not have campaign completion. I think that's kind of fraudulent. Besides that point, I think beginners are just hopping in the multiplayer arena, and Halo's a very inherently competitive game. Um, if you don't know what's going on, you're just gonna get slaughtered. And I don't know, Halo's been in a sore spot. It's got some very unhappy players, some very toxic players. It's just not the best environment for people that aren't equipped to deal with it. There is an academy for beginners to learn. I don't think many people are going in here. But if you did try the tutorial, you would get a cool little cutscene. You'd learn a little bit about how Spartan shields work, how to kill a Spartan, maybe grenades. You'd get to run around a little bit. Um, but all in all, I think the tutorial's just a failure in trying to equip Spartans with um, what they need to know about the game. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna hop in this custom game. I'm just gonna talk, and I want to apologize if the path of my discussion is not super organized or seemingly directed. I'm just very much going off the cuff. This is not scripted. Um, but I do have a lot to say. I do think I am capable of giving a lot of people some good insights, some good tips and tricks about the game that I love so much. I've been playing for a long time now. Um, uh, Turn this down a little bit just so my voice isn't getting convoluted with the in-game sound. Um, but back to the point of beginners are really just not getting a good footing on this game. I think that there are a lot of parkour aspects, movement aspects in this game that are just ignored. Like, you could play through the entire campaign and you could play through that tutorial, and there are things that you just won't know about this game. Um, for one, this parkour course uh, is just a really good example of like the movement potential in this game. Like the movement mechanics, I think are really cool, but they're just ignored by a lot of players. Like most people just don't know how to do any of this stuff. Even that first jump is a simple crouch jump where you jump in the air and you crouch and you lift your feet above the regular jump height. Players, I've opened this lobby to the public just so people can run around in here with me and practice their parkour movement. People can't even get past that first jump. I think that's very much to the fault of the game and the developers. They just did not give very much support to new players, which I think is a shame. Yeah, the settings in this game are just really poorly made. I mean, the FOV, the default FOV is 78, and you could tell the difference right away. I don't think anybody that's has competence in this game is playing on that low of an FOV. I think that it should be between 95 and 115 or 120, depending on what size of the screen you're playing on and stuff like that. I've never played a game with as many settings as Halo Infinite. But alas, I still love this game. I've done a lot of work in my settings. I've gotten used to them. I've gotten better with it. So, and really love the parkour in this game. I think it's really cool. Players just aren't given an adequate tutorial. This is one of the biggest things. You could play through the campaign and the tutorial, and you'll just not know anything about this, which some people call it a curb slide, some people call it a G slide. I like to think my Spartan's kicking his legs off of this ledge and sliding and gaining speed, getting a further jump. Yeah, and people just don't know how to do that. I see people in big team battle that are accusing me of cheating because I'm moving faster than them, and that's just so wrong because it's a huge mechanic. It's a huge advantage given to players that know what they're doing. But if you don't go on YouTube and look these things up, or you're not actively trying to get better at the game by looking things up, you're just not going to know. You're just not going to know these things. I also think that this game has a really poor matchmaking system. It tries to compensate for players with very high skill level by matching them with players with very low skill level. And I just don't think that that's conducive of any sort of positive experience because, for example, I've had Slayer games where I'm expected to drop all 50 kills because my 3 Spartan teammates, they just aren't Spartans. They are Ungoi. They are beginners and they just do not even know what they're doing out there, and it's really frustrating for both parties. I'm sure they don't want to be in a super sweaty lobby with me, and I don't want to be expected to carry them. And if you are a good player that's able to win those really hard games, obviously no one's expected to drop 50 kills in a Slayer, but you are going to be given hard games, and if you do manage to win those, it's just going to continue giving you harder and harder games. I think there should be a separate arena for all skill levels. I don't think that I should be paired up with these low skill level players. And that's not to say that I'm the best. I know I'm not the best, but I know I'm good enough to say that I shouldn't be in the arena with these players. It's not good for anybody. Other video games have like a good way of accommodating for low skill level players. For example, Fortnite uh, has a very fake player versus player experience because they have bots in their arena and their low level players either like that or they just aren't even aware that they're playing AI. Um, but Halo again is a very inherently competitive game, and it's it's not for it's just not for players that aren't equipped to try and get better. Because there are players that just want to get on here and run around, and some of which don't even know that they have a gun in their hands, some of which can't even find the reticle in the middle of their screen, and furthermore, some of which can't even go in their customization and change the one off of their Spartan ID. I really like the parkour in this game. I think that it's pretty cool. It offers just a whole nother skill gap. Players that are good at this have a leg up against players that don't. I think it's a real shame that this stuff was ignored in the campaign. I mean, to this day, I don't even know if the curb slide or G slide was an intended mechanic. I really don't know if the developers meant to put that in the game. There's a lot of things that I don't know if the developers meant to put in the game that I'll get to that point. I'll add more to that later. But yeah, I mean, a lot of these issues have been in the game since it came out in 2021, and I don't know if the devs have any intention of fixing it. It seems to me that the devs are just interested in announcing their new cosmetics that they're adding to the shop and monetization efforts, which is pretty sad. I mean, it's common sense. Like, if more people are playing your game, more people are going to be purchasing stuff. But some of the stuff that's in this game just leads me to believe that they have no intention of improving player retention rates and player experience in general. And that took a lot longer than I was hoping for. I usually get closer to 7 or even 6 minutes, but hope I did a good job showing some of the movement mechanics in this game that I think are really cool. This is one of the biggest ones that players just do not know. Yeah, I don't know. They should have done a better job, because this is a really big mechanic. Victory. I also want to go and share more about the casual experience, because I really do feel like I am pretty adept casual. Like I said and showed earlier, I have close to 10,000 games played, and I think at least half of those are in my favorite playlist, the Big Team Battle playlist. Um, most of the playlists in this game have really strict skill-based matchmaking. But in Big Team Battle, I think that with a 12-person team, you have less responsibility per Spartan. Um, and that's why I think that Big Team Battle is the best beginner playlist in the game for new players that want to try just get accustomed to the weaponry and stuff like that. But at the same time, it can be just the sweatiest playlist in the whole game. There are players, there are many, many players that go into the Big Team Battle playlist with full teams of 12, and they just sweat. They just go so hard, and I truly believe that they value their 99% win rate, and they think that they're really good players because they win so many games. Um, I just want to talk about them and why I think that they're frauds. I think that they're ruining the game. And I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go in here and talk about this map, why I think it's the worst map in the entire game. I'm gonna talk about the Big Team Battle playlist because there are several teams. There's almost always one of these teams in the playlist uh, that are just griefing. They have 99% win rates. If you want to go on Halo Tracker and see their profiles, they actually very rarely lose games because they just don't have competition. The skill based matchmaking in this game, it's not equipped to accommodate a 12-person stack of Spartans. And if you do have 12 Spartans, like 12 friends playing together, they almost certainly all care about the game. They're all probably pretty good, like diamond or above skill level. Um, and I don't have a problem with it because sometimes I do actually beat these teams. I'm actually capable of putting an effort in and making a difference in these games. Um, and I'm solo queuing most of the time, or I'm playing with my one friend that still plays this game with me. Um, yeah, we do our best, but some of these games are just absolutely unwinnable, and it's all because of this thing. It's this is the biggest problem in this game. I think that year one, this vehicle was not a problem, and when I get in this vehicle, it's not a problem. But when mouse and keyboard players get in this vehicle, it absolutely breaks the flight physics of this vehicle. And this thing does not work as it was intended. When players are using mouses, it just absolutely ruins the flight physics. They can do 180s instantly. They can fly straight up, straight down, like no flying thing ever should. And I really just causes so much unhappiness. I've had friends that have quit the game because of the vehicle play in this game. And it's a shame because the Banshee wasn't always like that. The Banshee became like that when the developers decided to revert this game's networking code back to Halo 5's because there were problems with this game. People were getting shot late around corners, and there was a lot of desyncing issues. And for some reason, when they changed the networking, the Banshee became broken. I think this is because the previous Halo games didn't have mouse and keyboard input. So the old networking did not know how to fly a Banshee on mouse and keyboard. That's why it doesn't work properly in this game. So yeah, there's two Banshees on this map, and every time Pelicans come in to drop a vehicle, it's a Wraith, which is my second least favorite vehicle in this game. Some vehicles in this game
Yes,
are
sir.
mwah,
Sniper
French
available.
kiss. Like the Ghost is perfect. There's nothing about the Ghost that I dislike. The Warthogs and the Mongoose, they are perfect. This thing is so dumb. This thing in the Banshee ruined Big Team Battle. And some of these players that are constantly stacking in Big Team Battle, just absolutely harassing the playlist, causing unwinnable games, wasting 12 to 15 minutes of everyone, all 24 people's times in the game. They abused this thing and they abused the Banshee. Whoever was the developer that put this in the game is either lazy, incompetent, or just a straight up troll because this thing is so
Please obey
broken.
highway regulations.
If you're driving this thing, you are invincible, practically. There are very few things on the map that can kill this thing. You can shoot 4 rockets right at the front of this thing, and it will sometimes not even destroy it. And if it does destroy it, it will just say destroyed. It won't kill the guy in the Wraith. It'll do no damage to him. He can just get out and run away scot-free, full shields. It is blasphemy. Also, if you're trying to board an enemy Wraith and plant a grenade in it, there's a great chance that you will just get in the turret. This should never be a thing. Why would I ever want to board an enemy Wraith and get in their turret? You are completely defenseless in this position. If you do this, you're dead because the driver can just go up to a wall and shoot you out. Who, whose idea was this? It does no damage to me. Who's closer to the shot? So furthermore, if I do try to board it, I'll get on it right about here. They can just shoot me off it. If I do plant a grenade and the enemy's in the driver's seat, they can just hold A, switch seats, and the grenade explosion doesn't do anything to them. And then they can just proceed, get back in the driver's seat, and shoot you off. If you want to, you can board the back of it and plant a grenade. They can just switch seats. You can get on the back and you could punch it, which most players don't even know. You can punch it. It takes way too long to destroy this thing by punching. And yeah, there's more of them. There's more of them. Oh, this game is something. So I've had games on this map where the enemy team gets 4 Wraiths and they are just bombing the base. It is the worst experience you can have in Halo Infinite. I don't know what the developers were thinking, but I straight up think they're just trolls and they just want to see Halo.
Thrusters
They just want to
fired.
see Halo crash and burn. The only things on this map that can kill that are the 2 snipers that spawn. There's a skewer, which can also kill the banshees, but I think if you put all 4 rounds of the skewer into a wraith, it just doesn't kill it, which is just so dumb. Also, there's these ordnance drops that drop some things sometimes.
Overshield. Sound acquired.
Sometimes they drop campaign variants of weapons.
Obtained.
Like the S7 Flexfire sniper is a 10-shot sniper. Players that didn't play the campaign just have no idea what that weapon is. I've been accused of hacking because I have a sniper that shoots faster than the regular one, and players just don't know that it's a completely different variant of the weapon. Players didn't pay for the campaign. Why are they given these weapons in Big Team Battle? Furthermore, why are there vehicles in Big Team Battle if players don't know how to use them from the campaign? It's nonsense. The experience in Big Team Battle would be made so much better if they just removed these stupid vehicles. Some of these some of these bullies, because that's what they are. They're just bullies. They're ruining other players' experiences and wasting their time and just harassing. Um, they crutch on these vehicles to win games to preserve their 99% win rates, and it makes these games unwinnable.
Speaking
Furthermore,
of,
there's
what
people that
you are
have
exposed,
just
Spartan.
um they refuse to put up with this crap anymore. They just, as soon as the game starts, they look at the player list and they could see that there's a full team of 12 Spartans against them, and they just quit out. So they're leaving their team behind to fight an unwinnable game. It becomes like a 9v12 or worse, and
Powerful
they just end up
weapons en route.
playing fake Halo. These big team battle stackers. Oh, here's more raids. Anyone needed two more of them.
Your power
They just end
weapons
up playing
have
fake
arrived.
Halo because it's a 12v9. It's like you're not even playing the game. You can just walk around and not even shoot, and your team's going to carry you because you're still outnumbering them. I don't understand why these these streamers that are playing this game with stacks of their friends, just harassing the playlist, they continue to do so. It's been 3.5 years. At least put the race and the banshees away. I don't even know. I just can't imagine it being fun because some of these players absolutely crutch on these vehicles to win games. Some of these streamers are grassroots streamers too. And I don't care to expose any of them. They've caused so much anger in my head, and I'm sure many others. I've had friends that have quit the game because of them. But you're,
5 minutes
I'm
remaining.
pretty sure being a grassroots streamer, they are they are being like asked by the game company to play their game and promote their game and make content for their game. But at the same time, they are absolutely ruining other players' experiences, and they're not even playing real Halo themselves. They're playing fake Halo. They're not even trying. I'm in the arena trying my absolute best to win these games. I'm calming to these casual players on my team, trying to get them involved. I'm doing my best, and sometimes I drop 70, 80 kills in a big team battle, and I still lose because these games are just unwinnable. These stacks of players barely have to try,
Thrusters
and they
obtained.
win every game. I do not think that a 90% win rate is an accurate representation of a good matchmaking system. It makes me so angry. And I know some people are going to be like, oh, dude, it's just a game. Get over it. I love Halo. I play this game all the time, and I just really want to see it in a better state. And it's not going to be in a better state if we keep ruining new players' experiences. Nobody wants to try this game because of all of the terrible detrimental issues. I got another one, a big gripe that I really want to get out. I'm gonna have to fly up the cliff to be able to accurately show this. I don't exactly remember when it was, but around year two, they added this new weapon in the game, the Bandit. It's a recreation of Halo Reach's DMR.
Power weapons
Single
available
shot,
for
semi-auto,
refinement.
5-shot kill weapon. This thing is one of the strongest weapons in the game, and it's currently the ranked arena weapon, which replaced the battle rifle. I love the Bandit, but this one with no scope is a power weapon. It is the most overpowered weapon in the game, aside from like actual power weapons like the S7 sniper. You know what I mean. If I'm battling across map and I'm using a commando, a battle rifle, or the Bandit Evo that actually has a scope, this gun is going to win all the time because you're not getting descoped. It's just not a fair fight. I don't know why they are putting this thing in the game for in the most beginner-friendly playlist, players are being taught that they don't get descoped when they get shot at. It's just not the same kind of fight that you're gonna find in a competitive arena, um, like ranked. And I know, like, oh, it's big team battle. They're not gonna try to make things super competitive. But if I'm not using this thing, if I'm using other weapons, I'm just gonna lose the fight. So yeah, I don't love this weapon. I mean, I use it and it's not the worst thing in the world, like the Banshees and the Wraiths, but it's really just not conducive of a fair and competitive arena, which makes the game more fun. I think that Halo is fun because it's competitive and players can try and feel rewarded when they win gunfights. Next up, this is one of the biggest things. I'm gonna try to get through it before the game ends. This thing that they added should be a power equipment. It is so overpowered. Can regenerate a completely damaged Wraith, one that's blinking red and about to be destroyed. It can completely regenerate to full health. Also, in the Banshees, these things are so hard to kill. You could jump out, throw one, and hop back. I didn't do it that time. But they're just so broken. Those things should not be on spawn racks with the same spawn priority as a threat sensor or a thruster. They should be power weapons that are fought over. It's just blasphemy. Ruins the game how
Every
people
peacemaker must be
get
used
wraiths on
wisely.
this map and never die. Never die.
You looked sharp in that
This
victory,
map is
Spartan.
single-handedly
Keep it up.
my worst or my least favorite map just because of the vehicles. I think it looks great. I think it's cool you're fighting under a banished anti-air turret. It's not inherently a bad map, but the vehicle play just absolutely ruins the game. When I face 12 stackers, um, I know the game is decided before it starts if I get that map. If I get a map like this, however, this is one of my favorite maps in the game because there's no planes and there's no tanks. I can actually fight back against these 99% win rate tryhards by myself because they don't have ways to cheat. I genuinely think the Banshee is cheating and these players should be banned because all they do is fly around and cheat in them. If you disagree that it's cheating, I will tell you, I do not have the capability to reap the benefits that you can in that Banshee because I play on controller. You have a competitive advantage because you're on mouse, and I think that follows the definition of cheating. This map is ruined by Banshees and tanks. This map is a Banshee, but I like it because it's new. This map's great because it doesn't have Banshees or tanks. This map was ruined when it dropped because of the tanks and regenerators. I mean, most of the maps are just totally ruined because of the Banshees. This map's ruined because of the Banshees. And these players use it as a crutch to win and preserve their 99% win rate. Their play style is a flight simulator. It makes me so angry. And what makes me even more angry and motivated me to make this video is they're bullies. Like they message me after the game because they want to get a word out and tell me that I'm talentless or that I'm bad. It's like they have this weird humiliation kink or like no, it's not it's like they're masochists. It's like they enjoy making other people suffer in this game and ruining their time. But in reality, they're just wasting their own time. I don't get it. Um Another thing, they added Griff Ball this game recently. Griffball just doesn't work because the hammers and the swords are so broken. I don't know if anybody plays this game mode, but it's called Castle Wars. I love it. It's just swords and grapple shots, but the sword trading is so broken in this game, as well as the melees. They need to fix it. The competitive viability in ranked arena because the melees are broken is just totally ruined. It's in shambles. You watch these players competing for money. It's and I'm a huge fan of Pro Halo, of players that are the best in the game, like really duking it out. But you see like just fake melees, just terrible game breaking bugs at the highest level in this game. It just shouldn't exist. Um, and the worst part is the developers, they don't acknowledge these problems. They all they seem to want to acknowledge is the next bundle dropping in the shop. And it's really sad. Like I love the customization in this game. Don't get me wrong. I think it's the best out of any of the Halos. I think just recently they announced they have all of the past Halo 3 armor finally in this game, which is really cool. But it'd be way cooler if your player retention rate was up and more people were playing the game. More people would be buying this stuff. I'm sorry, this is becoming a rant. And I, I don't want to just be ranting at you guys, but um, really am super passionate about this, and I think this game can have a huge rebound. Uh, but I think the developers are either lazy, incompetent, or just downright trolls. This is the community leader who's supposed to be the most in tune with the community, letting them know like what their developer efforts are. This guy doesn't even play his own game. I mean, all he plays is firefight. Makes me so angry. I'm sorry, I said I wasn't going to call people out, but Unishak, respectfully, I don't know how you still have a job. And it worries me that you're going to be working on future Halo games because you don't know what you're doing. I feel like they should have people that are in tune with the community, know what this game needs. This guy doesn't play PvP. He's just playing firefight. I'm sorry, I got nothing against the guy himself. Like, I respect him. I love his game, but I've been playing this game as a diehard Halo fan. I'm thinking about beginners, and there's rumors coming out that PlayStation might soon get access to playing Halo for the first time ever, which would mean that there are a ton of new players. And these things that I've talked about, they're going to be huge issues for these new players. Like nobody should be getting this game and playing at 78 FOV with blur and screen shake. It's just so crazy to me that these are even settings in the game. Who wants to play with motion blur? I don't know. Furthermore, there are other issues that I would like to talk about. Just real quick. I'm gonna hop in the training mode for it. I think the biggest thing that hurt this game was that the campaign isn't available for everybody. The campaign should be a
Training
starting
mode.
place for new players.
Hone your
There
skills
shouldn't
against
be,
combat bots.
I think people underestimate this. It's a free game on the Xbox Marketplace, and I see a lot of new players try the game. As dead as people want to make it seem, this game does have new players that try it out and they just do not they aren't given any support. Um well, that's weird. I thought I was going to be able to show the campaign variants of the weapons in this.
Excellent precision.
I suppose not. But players should be utilizing this training mode more because it's really one of the best ways to learn how to play the game. You could turn bot shooting off, it just becomes a very peaceful,
Inbound. Vital signs. Not found.
uh, just way to run around the map, learn how to slide, learn how to
Active camo
shoot
available.
other Spartans, deplete their shields, finish them off with a precision shot, and learn spawns. But players are hopping into the arena with zero experience and just anchoring their teams, causing so much unhappiness because they're not playing as Spartans. They're not involved or participating. They're just uh, and I don't want to seem like a toxic Halo player, but they need to be they need to be going through some sort of a tutorial and kind of get their bearings, you know? But yeah, I hope I outlined everything I wanted to talk about. I really urge anyone that does hear this video to I don't know, hop in the comments and tell me what you think. I really just wanted to start some meaningful discourse about these issues in this game that aren't going to go away if we just ignore them. I was hoping just maybe a developer would I could catch the ears of some developer and maybe catalyze some change for the better because I really do care about this game and the future of Halo. I want to see it do better. Just been in a really sore spot. Um, yeah, and if you guys, if anyone's watching this video and has anything that they'd like to add, or maybe there's something that I
Active
missed,
camo
please let me
available.
know. I'd like to know what other people think, how my opinions differ for them from theirs. And if you are one of those big team battle stackers that's just constantly playing fake Halo games and big team battle, ruining
Inbound.
beginners' experiences, I really just am trying to compel you to look at it from my perspective.
Skewer available.
Maybe try to play the game a little differently. Um, but I know you guys are like stuck in your ways. I've tried to express my opinion toward to you, um, and you guys just seem to poo-poo it and take pity in me and my opinion. I think that's a huge problem because it just shows how unhappy you are with the game and how unwilling you are for change. Um, I've seen these players say that uh, they don't like competitive Halo. They don't like the competitive aspect of Halo. I really do genuinely think they like playing these um, unfair games, just running around, not really trying, because that's what they're doing. They just aren't trying. They don't like the fact that sometimes you have to take a fight and back down and regain your shields. They want to just play fake Halo, where every fight is free. They always have backup, and they're never contested in the playlist, and they can just grow. They could just continue to maintain their 99% win rate. Um, any developers that may or may not hear my message, uh, I just want to ask you if you think that a 99% win rate is indicative of a proper skill-based matchmaking system. And if you don't think so, um, please think about doing something about this. I mean, these players should only be able to 12 stack in big team battle if they're facing other 12 stacks, or not even that serious, but like personally, I don't think you should be able to go into big team battle with more than 4.
Inbound.
Because if you have 6, 7, 8, even like those Spartans are able to work together on a completely different level than 12 solo queuing Spartans that aren't even talking to each other or aren't even utilizing teamwork. Some of which aren't even equipped to hold their gun or find their reticle on their screen because it's their first game ever. They don't have any experience because they aren't forced to go through a tutorial. They aren't forced to learn about what what it means to be a Spartan. You have shields that recharge. I genuinely think some players don't know that their shields recharge. And it's just this whole issue within itself. I mean,
Life expectancy. Shortened.
oh,
Skewer inbound.
those are my gripes as a casual, from a casual perspective. There are
Skewer
many
available.
um, other issues that other players, such as competitive players, seem to find more detrimental to the game, such as like strafe acceleration, which they recently fixed. I think they did a pretty good job at it. You used to just be able to jiggle peek like this, and you were basically invincible because your head was very hard to hit when you're constantly moving like this. Um, but they changed your acceleration when moving side to side, kind of fixed that. I hope that they are able to look at some of these other issues and fix them. Some of them are as simple as just removing the Banshee from the playlist. Maybe make the Wraith have a little less spawn priority on that one map. Why is it the only thing that drops? I will never know. Um, Jiggle peeking still is kind of an issue that people complain about. There's some people that absolutely crutch on this in ranked. I don't think that
Active camo.
I
Inbound.
don't think that they're going to be able to fix that very much more than they did, just because we are playing a game that requires
Active camo
networking,
available.
and no game is a stranger to networking problems. You could look across the board, across many franchises. Just about every game has issues with networking, and I'm not really just going to be another person that complains about that. I know that they can only do so much in that aspect, and that falls sort of on the overarching servers that they're borrowing. It's not on the developers to improve their servers. Um, but what do I know? I'm not a computer scientist. I don't know that much about that, but I do know that some of these issues, the developers are very capable of just changing very quickly. And if I'm wrong, please tell me. Like, please share your opinions. If anyone has some differing opinions than me, I would love to hear it. I truly just am on here not to complain and just be negative, because Halo certainly is plenty of that. I just want to create some meaningful discourse,
Skewer
share my
inbound.
opinion because I do feel like I know what I'm talking about. And I don't know, just try to safeguard Halo,
Skewer
make it a better
available.
place. Um, other than that, I think I hit the nail on the head on most of these points that I wanted to talk about. Um, there are some issues in this game with the equipment, the repulsor. I don't know what happened here, but I think this is really cool. This is unique to Halo Infinite. You can repulse uh, a Spartan that you've stuck with a grenade. Sometimes when you do this, you do it too quickly, you'll just stick yourself. That is a huge issue. If and I don't know if this is a
Freeze.
multiplayer
Keep your
thing
distance.
or not, but
Active camo.
if this ends up
Inbound.
happening at a tournament that players are competing for money, I don't even know what to say. Like
Active
even right
camo
there,
available.
the repulsor just didn't work on that Spartan. I I don't know. This is something that in year one wasn't an issue, but when they reverted the networking code, created this issue. Um, there was a point in time when I still think this is still kind of prevalent. The drop wall, your bullets just your bullets don't fly straight through this thing. Um, and it works differently for some guns just because I think the bullet velocity changes as it passes through that shield. I'm gonna remove this. I don't want these guys punching me anymore. Um, but yeah, I mean, this thing's cool. I think it's cool that it sticky blows up when you throw at it. That's something a lot of people don't know. What else do we got here? Yeah, this repair field. I would love to see it become a power weapon because its utility in big team battle is just so overpowered, and players really need to stop abusing that. Um, let's see. Let me check my list of things I had to talk about. I don't want to miss anything. Yeah, I don't know. I think I've hit all of the points I wanted to talk about. Hit the nail on the head there, but really do just urge everybody in the big team battle playlist um, to understand like there's a lot of beginners in there. There's absolutely no reason that you need to be stacking in teams of 12 just harassing new players. Um, and I wouldn't be complaining about it nearly as much if you guys didn't also cheat in the Banshee and Wraith using that vehicle as it well, I can't say that it wasn't
Skewer
intended
inbound.
to be used like that because I don't know what the developers were thinking when they put that in the game. Um,
Skewer available.
but I urge you guys to stop using the vehicles like that because your win percentage is not that important in big team battle. Just recently, I saw online some of these perpetrators of the Banshee and the Wraith.
Active camo. Inbound.
Uh, they were complaining that they got banned from the ranked squad battle playlist for harassment or bullying or
Active camo
something.
available.
And they're like, "Oh, this must be a troll from the devs. Why was I banned? I'm not a cheater, blah blah blah." And I almost wanted to laugh, but I just found it pathetic because I don't know how they don't realize that they're cheating in that Banshee. Controller players aren't able to use it like they do. So I don't know. I think that they should have been banned a long time ago. If it were up to me, I'd put them in some sort of purgatory where they're in a grunt apocalypse firefight mode, but instead of grunts, it's just hunters and they get their faces bashed in over and over and over. And that's the only game mode that they could play for the rest of their Halo careers because I have seen them on my desk screen after getting splattered or one shot by their Banshee that's flying just crazily. I think that I've been killed by their Banshee more than any other player in this game, and I've had it. I've had it up to here, man. All right, so thank you for listening to my rant. Um, I hope that I brought up some good points. I really hope that this video finds some people and they can share their opinions with me. They can tell me that I'm right or wrong about some things, and maybe something good will come of it. Um, Furthermore, I will be going live on Twitch a little more, and I'll be in that big team battle playlist, calming with casuals and trying to get people involved, trying to teach people things because I really do love that playlist. I found some awesome people in there, and I really do find some awesome games. Sometimes I have to try harder in this playlist than I do in the arena, and some of these games are more unwinnable in this playlist than they are in the arena where I've played against pros. Um, yeah. Thank you for listening to me. I'm sorry if I was annoying or if I was ranting too much. But just know that I'm really passionate about this game. I love Halo. It's gotten me through some tough times, and I know it has done the same for a lot of other people. So, um, just trying to spread positivity out there and improve people's experiences uh, as much as I can. I don't know. There's a lot of toxicity out in the arena. A lot of people just don't want to put up with anything, and there's a lot of bad players that um, I don't know. I can't imagine they have very good experiences. I remember being a bad player, and um, there's a lot of ways to get better. Just keep moving forward and just try to do your best because that's all we can do. Um, but yeah, Spartans, hopefully I'll see you out in the arena. Thanks for listening to me. Peace.